What's up, everybody? It's Matt Johnson. We're back with another episode of the Real Estate Uncensored. This is the place where we get actionable ideas, insight, and inspiration to turn your real estate career into a life of freedom. And we are going old school today. It's all Q&A. We've got the Gene Volpinator himself, the evil bald ninja, is with us because it's Friday. We don't have him for the full episode, but we're going to get a nice sampling, like a taste,
a taste tester
of the Volpinator today, the evil bald ninja. So as always, we will answer sales and marketing questions. We've got some questions lined up here, but we also want to take questions from you guys live. It's been a little bit of a trial getting the Facebook Live to integrate, and so we're kicking off a little bit late. So those that are watching live, make sure to let us know that you're here. Let us know that you can see us, hear us, all that good stuff. Make sure to put your questions in the comments along with your location so we can keep you in mind for referrals. And before we bring in the evil bald ninja, first, my esteemed colleague, well, esteemed in certain circles, the junior grandmaster himself, Greg McDaniel.
You exhausted dick. Matt's running on fumes, and so he's just like, he wants to hurl insults at me to make himself feel more energized so that I can hit back and maybe catch a right hook on his jaw, wake him up a little bit. That espresso's not quite doing the job, but we're going to do our best today, ladies and gentlemen. I got to tell you, sometimes doing real estate makes you just want to retire and go somewhere to the islands and just pour Mai Tais for the rest of your life because of the stress levels. And, I mean, you can't fuck up a Mai Tai that badly, especially you can't screw up a beer. But sometimes, like, the simplest things can go wrong, and miscommunication between escrow and lender and escrow and personalities go smash, and deals almost fall apart. We were within a frog's fart, on a windy day of a deal going south this morning of this family that I've represented. I've known the Mrs. Buyer for the last 15 to 20 years. She was a bouncer with me at a bar that we used to bounce at. They have a child that has special needs purposes. They're 10 minutes away from their school. If the ball had been dropped, then they would have to have been moved 30 to 45 minutes away from this school. And it came down to personality shifts. I mean, it's like, God dang it. People grow up sometimes. Grow up. I mean, I just showered 20 minutes ago because I've been dealing with this damn thing all morning. I'm talking to everybody on the phone. I'm like, people, I smell like a garbage heap. I got to get in the shower. I mean, I got to go on air. Shit. And they're like, okay, yeah, we'll let you go. Okay, I got to go. It's been fun working with you. I'm like, fuck off.
Wow. All right. Now I thought I had a weird loopy diatribe, but anyway. All right. So Greg is dealing with the stress of being an agent. Welcome to being in real estate. Gene, the evil bald ninja himself, is here. What's up today?
I love this. I'm looking at my screen here, and I got Matt Johnson is on Greg's video, and not Greg McDaniel is on Matt's, which is great. Greg, you do know that we can't smell you, right? You did not have to take a shower before the show.
My neighbors can, and they're four stories below me. So it's just it's a health concern for the neighborhood.
It's a health hazard.
And listen, I'm excited too. By the way, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you, but I'm excited. I'm going to announce my new company that I just started today on your show live. Everybody gets it first.
Ooh, I like this.
Right.
But here's actually a real thing.
Gene has an amazing idea.
I'm telling a stinky story. Here. So 4 years ago, there was a guy literally 4 stories directly below me, older gentleman, definitely in the end of his days, and he had an issue with his bowels. And no matter where he was, there was leakage at all times, and his house was right above or right behind the spa. So the smell was so bad, they actually moved him out of the complex because it was literally a hazard to our noses. And if it had dripped into the pool, he would pass through the lobby where the elevator is 20 minutes before, and he could still smell his lingering ass. You're like, oh God,
this is the worst.
Listen, that story was worth it just because of Matt's face. That was 45 seconds of I smell shit. What is going on right now? Dude, please go back and review the tape on this. That was the best face yet.
All right.
Thank you, Greg.
My pleasure, Gene.
Right now, I hate you so much, Greg. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'm going to read you this question, Greg.
Oh.
And you know what question it is, because it's the one that you don't want to take. Just in revenge, I'm gonna make you fire up that brain of yours and answer this question that you don't want to answer, just because you inflicted that story upon me. So here's the question.
You vindictive jackass.
Okay. So you have a buyer who's analytical. They also have a very specific budget that's actually realistic for their market, but they also have a very specific home they're looking for. And we're talking about everything from bed count, bath count, walking distance to public transport, like the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
Now that they have that all the way, they want to see 15 to 25 homes before they buy, even if they find the perfect house on the first weekend. So how do you break through to someone like that so they don't pass up a house on the first or second round of visits? What would you say to them if they were your client? They are serious buyers with a deadline that demands them to have an accepted offer essentially within the next 3 weeks. Greg, what say you?
Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, I am ecstatic to the fact that you're going to be some new neighbors here in the community. I just don't think I'm the right person for you. Let me introduce to you someone who I might work well with you. His name is Matt Johnson. He's with Remax. He partners with Bob, and he's extremely free with his time, and he would be happy to spend every waking moment with you. Enter Matt. So no, I'd pass him off to you, jackass. Honestly, what I would do, I would first break down to the fact, okay, so you're super analytical. You want to see every single thing in the area. I'd ask them, what's more important, getting into the property or seeing every single house in town? Well, we want to see every house in town. Now, why would you want to see every house in town? Because we want to make sure that we see the best property. Okay, what makes the best property for you? What in your mind is the best property? Well, it has all these different criteria. All right, so if I'm able to show you all these properties with all of these different criterias, would you forego seeing the rest of the properties that don't have these homes? Wouldn't that make logical sense? Yes, Mr. Buyer? Yes, that would make sense because they don't fit in my criteria range. Fantastic. We went from 20 down to 8. Let's get in the car. We can knock this out in one day. Mm-hmm. I would just break him. I would use his own logic against him, honestly, because they don't honestly want to see every house. What they want to do is they want to make sure that their S&C brain, they don't miss anything out there. When in reality, if they see things, if they want a 4-bed, 2-bath, and they want to go look at the 3-bed, 2-baths, maybe they could renovate something. Well, no, that's not correct because the square footage won't allow that to take place. And if you have a time frame, you need to be into a property. Therefore, it grants the argument lends to itself that it won't happen no matter what if you look at a 3-bed, 2-bath. So only 4-bed, 2-baths, only in these locations, only with these amenities. Let's go look at them. Let's make a decision. Buy you a house. Because why would you want to go look at a 3-bed, 2-bath or a 2-bed, 2-bath? Or why would you want to go look at a lot? You have a time frame. That's your defining aspect here of how you work with them and say, look, you're on a timeline, right? You've got to be in the house at this time frame. Yeah. Okay. Then we can't see everything. Wouldn't you agree? Well, theoretically, great. Then why don't we just go back and just take a look at what you put down on paper, what you wanted. And then, if it's not there, which I don't think it won't be there, I think it will be there. And if it's not there, then we can take another look. Wouldn't you say? That would be a good move? And then work from that point. But control your space. I mean, the Navy SEALs call it the 3-foot rule. You can control anything within 3 feet of you. That's basically your arm's reach, right? When you're doing climbing. That's the only way to control your 3 feet. Huh?
Yeah, you gotta get your arms around all 3 feet of them.
My little Oompa Loompas.
All right, I like that answer. It was long and convoluted, and I wasn't paying attention to most of it. But sure, I agree. It is the S&C in them. I will say this though: there was a great interview we did with a gal named Lauren Taylor, who's here in San Diego, and she has that kind of virtual tour technology with a portal that allows them to get in and kind of see the homes that already have virtual tours done, and it allows you, or in this case, I would say your assistant, go out and do virtual tours of all the homes they want to see and just have them do it so that you don't have to go physically out there. So there's the objection handling way, and then there's like the tech markety whatever way so that you can say yes, and this is how we're going to do it. Right, you're not going to actually drive yourself all over town and see 25 homes. Like, I get it. No. You want to see everything that's out there. There's just a better way to do it, and here's the way that we do that. So, Gene,
here's another.
Any contribution on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep it simple. I was going to go that route. First, I'd pick out all the ones with videos and let them do it virtually, and then we can talk after that.
Yeah. Perfect.
The one thing is that all of you guys all are joking aside and everything else, but realistically, if you have a client like that, what I do, and this is actually, I need actual paper. So, I mean, when I'm out with a client, I show no more than 7 homes in one run. And then I'll take pieces of paper, like individual pieces of paper, and I will put together a showing package. And then every single time that we get together, shit, I'm going to have to crumple one of these up. This works. Every time we get together and we see a property together, I'll say, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, what did you guys think of 456 Maple compared to 123 Main Street, the one, the home we just saw? Well, it's like a 7 out of 10. Okay, so what would make it a 10? Well, if it had an extra bedroom. Okay, so with the lot size and the layout of the neighborhood, that can't happen for this home. Would you agree? Yes. Okay, now this is the important part I want you guys to pay attention to right here. At that point, I tell them, okay, I want you guys to take that sheet, and I want you to do this. I want you to crumple it up and throw it in the back seat. And they look at me very, very strangely when I do this, but psychologically what I'm doing to them right there is a ninja chop move. It's literally taking them and it's eliminating this out of their brain, because now, since they physically crumpled the paper up, they killed the home, they threw it away, it's no longer alive to us. And when you do this to buyers, it's the strangest damn thing, because they will never talk about that home again, because they made the decision to throw it away. Because sometimes people come boomerang back to homes like, well, the bathroom on that one was better, or the kitchen, or the backyard, or the kitchen, or the master bedroom, or whatever the thing is, the front porch. They'll keep coming back to it, but not if you make them throw it away.
Interesting.
It's uniquely
awesome. That is a big problem, because if you don't get them to mentally take it off the table, they're always they bring it up in the transaction, like, well, what about this? Which is it's the classic trap of showing them too nice of a house too early in the process. It just keeps coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Exactly.
Right. That makes sense. Okay.
Your
so we've got
are on point right here. I got to tell you that your reactions are great. He went like this through the paper, and you went, like it was like it was something he really thought about it and really went deep, and you were like, yeah.
Makes total sense.
The replay of this is going to be funny just for your reaction.
Oh yeah. If anybody would like to see what I'm like after 2 hours of socializing and it's getting late at night, you're experiencing it right now.
This is it. This is Matt. This is Matt when we go out.
Yes, exactly. I've got an hour and a half of socializing in me, and then I need to go take a nap. And right now I'm at that stage. All right, so this is a good question from Kirk in the LGSO group. Says, objection from a FSBO. We took it off the market because we underpriced it. Call us back in 2 weeks with the buyer. I have literally never heard of a FSBO ever saying anything like that, because part of the reason most for sale by owners put their home on the market themselves to begin with is they can't get an agent to agree with what they think it's worth. So this is a very odd objection. So Greg, I don't know if you've ever heard of such a thing before, but that would throw me off completely. How would you respond to that? We took it off the market because we underpriced it, as if they got a flood of offers, and just overwhelmed.
Imagine that. I mean, we underpriced it so badly we didn't get a single offer. We got to readjust our tactics. I would probably say, so would it offend you if I came in with a higher price offer? But would it offend you if I came in with an offer above where you previously had it listed? That'd be my simple question to them. And then yes, no. I mean, they're not gonna say no, because the wheels are gonna start turning. They're gonna be like, well, how much above my listing price are you thinking? And I'm like, how much would you like to see? It's a dance. You're fucking with each other. And and they'll say, well, how about 20 grand? How about 5? I mean, well, no, we're thinking more like 15. Well, okay, I can do 7. I have to talk to my buyers, but let me see what I can do. Just play with them. Cat with ball of yarn. Just bat it around a little bit. I mean, Gene, if you were an agent, you just chuckle hunting over there today.
Well, let's do this, because Gene is on a limited time frame. So, and I know there was something that he wanted to share. I would rather get Gene's opinion on what he wants to talk about than a FSBO objection, for at least at the moment. And then if you want to chime in.
I'm just trying to keep him on the show and just bullshit for a while, so we have to drag it out. So he'd be here for the whole hour.
Oh, okay. That's the game. We're trying to get Gene here for the whole hour.
It was until you blew it.
I know.
I can probably roll a little past 2:30 just because I like you guys, and it's been fun so far. But all right, so let's do this. Let's do Google Trends real quick.
Okay.
So if you Google Google Trends. It's a nice little free tool that allows you to see what's being searched for in any market in any part of our country. So it's one of these things where, like, just to keep it simple, if people are always asking, like, what do we use in our hashtags, and what are things we should put into our search engine fields and meta tags and SEO data and all this stuff, Google Trends is a good way to see what's being searched for in your local geography. And who knows? I personally think if people are searching for something specific to your business and you know it, and you go out and create a video or a post based off of that, you might be found and maybe called because you fit into that search criteria when they did it. So it's just a cool little tool. Nothing. It's free, and it's neat. And it's nothing really that's going to probably change your world, but it's certainly something to look into. So nice, short, and sweet.
I can tell you right now, in Kentucky, Taylor Swift is a 70% trend. Kim Kardashian is at a 30. Kim's getting her ass kicked in the South. New Hampshire, Taylor's taking it at 54. Kim's at 46. Ohio, 54 to Taylor, 46 again to Kim. God, these things are just close races. People
I feel like it's a presidential race.
It's a toss-up. We just don't know where this is going to go. But, I mean, whoever's going to take it, I mean.
That's right. I feel like Taylor Swift must really have the Rust Belt handled, but she's a little not quite as strong in the lesser, the entrenched, the deep South. Yeah.
No, yeah. Kim is definitely taking over the majority of the country, but Taylor's definitely strong in the southern regions.
So I think it's the southern regions. Listen,
terrible. But it's a trend jacking strategy, essentially. Trend jacking.
Trend jack, yeah, it's a good way to put it. Yeah, it's a neat little tool. I mean,
which is good.
I think you could probably get some insight through a 7 or 30-day period of what's being searched for in your area, and see if you can roll it into what you're marketing.
Yeah, right. Actually, there's a good question here. Veronica Jones comes up. We covered blockchain. Funny you bring that up, Miss Veronica Jones, who I kicked the crap out of the other day in Battleship and Pool, but then she beat me in knife throwing. Imagine that, a girl from the South beats a guy from the West in knife throwing. I know, totally weird. But she brings up blockchain. And so I was having a conversation with a friend about a week ago about blockchain, and I've been looking into blockchain. And, Matt, we really should get someone on the show about blockchain and how it's going to radically change our industry. And I think escrow and title, they're gone. Mm-hmm. I literally think they're going to be gone because of blockchain.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I think the only thing that would slow it down is just how bad and how messed up the existing system is. Like, going forward, absolutely.
Veronica's Balkans have been out of shape that I called her out, that I kicked her ass. But yeah, I mean, so that would be interesting to kind of see. So, Gene, what have you used Google Trends for? I mean, what would an agent use it for? Could they use it for sales in their marketplace? Could they use it for Taylor Swift?
To be honest with you, nothing yet. I actually just found out about it yesterday.
Really?
So it's brand new. No, I mean, we used to use Keyword Planner, or the keyword tool from Google AdWords, which is sort of similar, but I feel like Google Trends is like more user-friendly. It's not as in-depth, so that there's less of a rabbit hole to go down, if you're just trying to get in. So we've used it before for PPC advertising and things along those lines. But I'm kind of thinking proactively to maybe, if you know what people are looking for in your industry, in your arena, you can then tailor some of your marketing to target that, I think is the point. So if you're in real estate, I don't know, I'll make this up. I'll make something up on the fly, so it's going to be terrible. But if you're in real estate and in your area, in your city and state, people are searching for sale by owners, then maybe you target a couple videos and tag for sale by owner and talk to them about why it's not a good idea to do FSBOs. So, I'm trying to tailor something on the fly. It's kind of dumb, but you get the idea, right?
No. But yeah, no, I'm kidding.
No,
of course I do.
That's because you weren't listening.
Well, it's because I'm looking at Google Trends. I'm looking at Google Trends, and I'm looking at real estate here in the Bay Area. And
you're looking at Kim Kardashian's ass. Stop it.
Oh, come on, man. Don't call me public.
That's what you searched for. I gave you a tool, and the first thing you did was Taylor Swift and Kim Kardashian.
That's the first
you even had to spell Kardashian.
That's the first thing that popped up. Literally popped up. Like flotation devices. Boom, Kim's ass. Boom.
He is right, actually. If you go to the main page of Google Trends, it's basically Taylor Swift versus Kim Kardashian.
Wow, did Johnson just agree with McDaniel?
He did. He broke his contract.
I know. I am contractually obligated to disagree with you. Yeah, exactly. But I did have to back you up on that one. Okay, so this here's a question from Kareem. So Kareem says, received an email on June 26th from an old lead I used to work with a few months ago that discontinued her home search. So she's talking about the email they'd received, said that she had interest in seeing a home. So emailed her back within the hour to see when she'd be available for a tour. No response. Looked up her phone number and gave her a call. And according to the date here, that would be 2 days later. So she told me she's now working with someone else. Good old rookie mistake in the real estate field. So it's basically the conclusion was, I clearly took too long to call her, even though the email back right away, which we can talk about that. That is a common mistake. And then based on that interaction, do you remove that person from your database? So let's get to the question about the database in a second. But Greg, that's something that, like, I see this in the Facebook groups a lot, which is like, hey, how do you get someone to respond? I called or I texted them and they didn't text back, or I emailed them and they didn't email back. Very rarely do I hear, I called them 5 times and they wouldn't pick up their phone.
Right. So obviously either they're in a career where they can't answer the phone. So, air, land, and sea, email, text, call. You can do probably, if you can friend them on Facebook, Facebook message. You can do this app right here. Buongiorno. Bonjour. Buongiorno. It's a free one, or you can pay a couple of bucks for it. It's an Australian app. You can do individual emails, video emails to them directly into their inbox. Basically, just pepper the shit out of them. Just every 30 minutes, just pop, 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 pop. They will respond at a certain point, but you're going to get annoying. So you have to walk that fine line of being annoying and also being professional. So be assertive, but not over the top, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Gene, you and I deal with this in a very similar way, because to us working with real estate agents, coaches, kind of behind the scenes in the stuff that we do, they're very much like buyers. If stuff isn't done, if they want something done or if they have a question, they want that thing done immediately and they want that question answered immediately. So if I get a wonky email from somebody, whether it's a client or whether it's a guest or whatever, my first response is, bam, pick up the phone call immediately. If I can. Now, if I don't know the message is there, if I'm physically in a meeting and I don't even realize they've reached out, that's one thing. But if I see there's a question, my first reaction is, pick up the phone and just have the conversation. That is definitely something that I think needs to be kind of retrained, especially in younger agents. Our tendency would be more to text and email, and we're hiding behind those things.
Oh, I hide. No, listen, I hate the phone. I do. I do. My initial reaction is to always text, and it's funny. It's I always realize when I get off the phone with somebody how easy it was and how much closer to customer service success I am when I talk to them versus when I text. But I always go out of my way to avoid the phone call. I'm awful like that. I really am.
Yeah, you are terrible. You're a bad human being.
Oh, and that's coming from you, Johnson?
I know.
Really? The pot calling the kettle black on that one.
On the daily goals that I review every morning, that I only take short, scheduled, outgoing calls with people that I'm excited to talk to, linked to projects I'm excited about. So yes, I completely understand. But yeah, there's a reason why I don't work with buyers. If you're going to work with buyers, you just have to, that's the culture that you live in. They want stuff right away. So either you get it to them or you have an assistant that's always available. But even then with your assistant, you have to train them to be that same way. Hey, if something comes up and they want to communicate, just pick up the phone, call first. I don't care if they don't pick up. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that you're calling me right now. I'm like, Greg McDaniel. Oh, you're being a dick right now. Okay.
Forward them to write the voicemail. Do what you do to me. Write the voicemail.
But Gene, I wasn't. I do, believe me, I do send it straight to voicemail.
He does.
But Gene, I was not this way until I got around Frank from Viral Marketing and literally worked in the office with him and saw how he and his VP, what their behavior was, and just how quick they took care of stuff and how many things were headed off, issues prevented, things smoothed over, whatever the case was. Even if they didn't get a hold of the person, just by them immediately reaching out, by just picking up the phone and calling. And then if they didn't pick up, then following up and say, hey, I just got your message. I just called you. Sorry I missed you. We're working on it. Let me take care of it. Let me do this, this, and this, and then I'm going to get back to you. And usually at that point, it's all good. I've got clients that, Like they're extremely high, like extremely driven type A. I don't know, maybe type A isn't the best word, but they're just extremely driven and they want things to be on point. And if they think it's not on point, their first reaction is to send a text and, hey, like this needs to be taken care of right away. Like they appreciate getting that immediate phone call back, even if they can't pick up the phone when I call, right? And then I have to follow up with the text to actually explain what's going on. So yeah, it's just one of those things where even if you can retrain yourself to where your first instinct is just to pick up the phone and call, even if they don't pick up, the gesture makes a huge difference.
I couldn't agree more with you. I really couldn't. Here's where I think I get in my own way, right? Okay. If you know me a little bit from these couple months we've been together, you probably know that nothing I do when I talk to somebody is succinct. Like yesterday, I had to do a presentation at a big social media event, and they gave me 15 minutes. And I was like, I don't know that I've ever done anything in 15 minutes. Like, this is going to be really, really difficult. It proved to be difficult. I know that when I get on the phone with somebody, it's typically not, hey, we're on it. This is it's like, hey, how are the kids? What are you doing? Like, my relationship with the clients.
I literally picked up the phone the other day. I picked up the phone the other day. I said, so one of my clients texted me and said, hey, I've got can I pick your brain for a second? I literally called him and said, hey man, what's up? I got 7 minutes. And we talked about whether he was going to drop thousands of dollars on X, Y, and Z that he was thinking of. And I shifted him, like gave him some other things to think about, got it all done in 7 minutes and moved on to the next call. The only way, it's a muscle that you build. Like I think it was about, what would you say, Greg, maybe a year and a half ago, maybe a little bit longer than that I shifted my standard calendar appointment to 15 minutes. So my standard call with somebody is 15 minutes. Maybe if you're a client, you get 30 out of me. But for the most part, it's 15-minute calls. And it just like it forces you to like speed up, not your pace, not like how fast you talk, but Gene, you mentioned
it's cutting out all the bullshit, all the chaff.
It forces you to cut the bullshit. It forces you to like compress your communication and communicate more thoughts in fewer words.
Yeah.
Writing helps with that, by the way, too. Writing helps a lot. Frank taught me that at Viral. How much copywriting, right? So forcing yourself to write, it really isn't. It's not just the skill of writing, but writing forces you to clarify your thinking. And the more you practice that, the more you clarify your thinking, the more you can communicate thoughts in fewer words. Frank is one of those guys, and I've met other very successful people like him, but he was the first person that I really got around where I noticed it. But Frank communicates an unbelievable amount of information in relatively few words compared to most other people. So now if you listen to, and once you get used to being around that, like entrepreneurs that are like that, then you get around like high SCs and you realize, oh my God, say something. Say something. You just said 60 words and you communicated no thoughts.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you start to see it. You see it in people that work in the corporate world, people that you run into that are just different personality types. You like all of a sudden you'll notice you just said an entire paragraph of words, but you didn't communicate anything. All I got was a bunch of you knows and well, what I would say is like I don't care what you would say. Say what you say. Just say it. Don't tell me what you're about to say and what you might say if somebody asked you if your opinion was, you know. So
yeah. Don't waste my time. I had a conversation with someone last night. It was a fucking circle jerk of a conversation. I'm like, enough! What the fuck do you want? And this individual was like, what about this? I'm like, I get that that's not going to happen. I got to go. Boom. And I was just like, ugh. God, I'm shitting me.
There were some great lessons buried in those two rants. I just haven't figured them out yet. I don't know what they are, but there's definitely.
I will, at some point, I will do a course on how to talk to entrepreneurs and actually get shit done. I think that'll be the actual title of the course. How to talk to entrepreneurs and get shit done. Because
I think it's great.
Everybody that does what you and I do, Gene, I mean, effectively you and I run digital agency, right, behind the scenes, okay? Like on top of what me and Greg are doing with the team, I have a digital agency. You're full on running a digital agency. And oh my God, every one of those agencies are terrible at client communication. Every single one of them, they're absolutely terrible. And they all need trained in how to talk to actually successful people that are their clients.
Yeah. Well, listen, when you start the course, I am going to be the first sign up. So, but on that note, because I'm going to bail out. I got to bail out. But I want to tell you about my new business. I'm excited to tell you about the new business I'm starting.
Okay.
All right. You're going to be upset, Johnson, but don't worry about it. It's called It's called AUX.
AUX. Okay.
Yeah, like AU, like AU. Yo, it's the Italian version of what you're doing. AU. I'm going to show up because the A, it leads with the A. I'm showing up higher than you in Google, and I'm doing the anti-entrepreneur thing. So if you're an entrepreneur and you know how to get out and get a desk job, find AUX on my podcast. All right? All right.
And that's a cock
I'm
block.
creating market confusion for Matt Johnson. I love it.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like the Rocky version of UX. You know,
Oh, that's hilarious. The anti-entrepreneur. Well,
Listen,
yeah.
it's gonna
So
be like-
I know, Gene, you got to bail, but I did have a very interesting conversation with like
UX.
moving real estate away from entrepreneurs and towards employees. I want to talk about that in a second. But Gene, how do people connect with you, so that they can hear your dulcet tones for a half hour at a time?
Half hour at a time. GeneVolpe.com. It's got all the videos going up, all my speaking engagements, and if you want to get in touch with me, it's a good way to. There's a little widget that pops up that says "Get with Gene."
Just don't touch Gene, but you can get with Gene. You can reach out. And
Yeah, we
touch
do
Gene,
mostly
just don't
everything
touch
on
Gene.
video and text message. Video
That sounds
and text
kinky.
message, not the phone.
That sounds kinky.
Yeah. Just wait until we have like virtual handshakes and you can actually like stick your hand thing and shake Gene's hand virtually. It'd be great.
Listen, I hope that comes before the whole virtual smelling thing. If Greg's not showering for 4 days.
Oh yeah,
Hey, I showered. See,
I agree.
I'm good.
All right, Gene.
I have so
We
many
will
dirty
see
things
you.
going through my mind.
We're excited to have you back next week. Enjoy the weekend and enjoy the holidays. Spend some time with family for us, and we'll see you.
Yeah, well, we
You too,
won't see
boys.
you.
Love you.
Yeah, love you too, Bubba.
Love you too, man.
Toodles.
Okay. So I had a very interesting conversation with a gal who used to run an office here, an extremely successful office here in San Diego. She's since moved on and is doing consulting work in systems and operations for real estate teams and other businesses. So she was shedding some light on this whole thing about California going after real estate brokerages and trying to turn agents into employees.
Interesting. All
So
right, what you have to say.
you want, I'm gonna drop some knowledge courtesy of her because I did not know this.
I'll mute myself then, just out of courtesy.
Please
to
do.
you.
It'd be great. Yeah, I don't want you interrupting me. So the
See, I'm even gone too.
Thank
See,
you.
look at that.
Great. So now your video's on. Okay, good. All right. So here's the deal. This whole thing. Apparently, the IRS is looking at the taxes that we don't pay as like this big juicy carrot on the end of the stick, and they want that carrot. So all the payroll taxes or whatever that we're not paying in, that we don't pay, like all the taxes that the brokerage doesn't collect on our behalf, right? Because they don't take taxes out for us. So then they have to go track down the agents, right? And then we file late, and then we file extensions, or we don't pay, whatever the case is, right? Because we're all independent contractors. We all do what we want. It's like herding cats.
Yeah.
So the government's looking at that and going, if we can just figure out a way to make sure that all those pesky real estate agents are employees, then guess what? We can make the brokers collect the tax for us out of their commission checks, and bam, money will flow right into the coffers. So that's what the whole game is about.
Those
So
bastards.
very good chance. They've been going at that. They've been going after this for a while, but California looks like they're going to do it because, of course, California is cash strapped and horrible. Thank you to the California government. So it does look like there's a reasonably good chance they might pull it off and just unilaterally declare that real estate agents are not entrepreneurs, that we are employees.
Well, they did it to lenders.
We'll see.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. I mean, back in the day, lenders were 1099 did well. Not anymore. They're W-2'd. So, I mean, it's just a matter of time until Uncle Sam gets all up in your grill and, does a nice little reach around in the unfriendly way and just decides to grab your giblets, and you say thank you very much, and you go on like it was like the normal business day, and there it is. I mean, in all honesty, man, us paying our taxes is not a bad thing. I get it. We are kind of
I'm
like
not talking about
3-year-olds.
that. What is a bad thing though is that the whole model of like having people that do like part-time like sales works if they're freelance and they like, you don't really have to supervise them, and you don't have to have a lot of overhead and stuff like that. I think the immediate fallout of having that shift is that a lot of agents would just be flat out gone.
Well, yeah, that's not a bad thing, though. I mean, we talked about this
No,
before when we had a discussion with that lady. The fact of the matter, if you have to have a minimum production of like X amount of dollars or X amount of units a year, or dude, you're cut from the team. You're gone. Bye. Go work at Walmart. Hi, I love you. Welcome to Walmart. You have a blue vest waiting for you in Matt's size. I mean, it's perfect. I mean, it's
in my size. Okay.
I was waiting to see if you caught that.
Don't worry, my size and my Walmart vest is secure in the Walmart Greeters Hall of Fame area, so it's lifted to the rafters. So I don't think we have to worry about them giving out my vest size to the newbies.
So you're the Michael Jordan of greeters? You're number 23.
Michael Jordan of Walmart greeters. You heard it here, folks.
Stupid.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't think it's a bad thing that a lot of agents that maybe shouldn't be in the business and really aren't doing much, that they can't be in the business. I think that's, the barrier to entry, to be a licensed agent and to get that credibility of being a licensed agent is ridiculous. I would rather it would be better for us to not have licensing and for everybody to know that they're unlicensed and then to develop some other system of figuring out who we can trust than to have a licensing system that's so low that it basically means nothing.
Well, here's an interesting idea, Matt. Check this out. I just thought about this. What if a unit could be either an individual, a husband, a wife, or a team need to do X amount of units or production per year, right? So what if the low-hanging, the agents that aren't doing a lot of production, I mean the people who like fund the shoe habit or the family vacation fund or whatever, right? They just get out of the house because their spouses don't annoys them fund. What if they were to partner up with another agent or with a couple of other agents and they were able to meet that quota as a unit? I wonder what the guidelines are going to be around that. That's going to be interesting to see because that could be a loophole for agents to stay in the game but yet not be individual. That would bring us all together, be more camaraderie with all of us together. I don't know. That's a very good thought, Greg.
I'm sure there could be brokers that decide, just like Starbucks has decided, like Starbucks has the margins because they created a business where they can charge more for a commodity versus other businesses so that they can afford to and they choose to spend money on providing benefits for part-time employees. So there may be brokers that choose to do that. Like, hey, we'll take the hit. We've got some overhead. We know it's going to be a pain in the butt to manage you a little bit, but we'll have, part-time agents and we'll provide you some limited benefits for being part-time as long as you, bring a certain number of business in the door, 6 deals a year, 10 deals a year, whatever the case is, something like that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if and when that happened, what people's response to it would be. But yeah, ultimately, I'm not a fan. I don't think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that if real estate teams by their own choice get into hiring, salaried salespeople with a bonus to get into real estate, because I think that would actually give the client better results. But I definitely don't think the government needs to come in and just declare that all of us freelancers are entrepreneurs just because they want the money. All right.
Yeah, that's a very, very, very blanket statement, which is interesting for them to make that just call oh, all of you are entrepreneurs. Well, I guess. I mean, you could call us that, but I mean, we're just real estate agents. I mean, it's been like this for decades and decades. Why change it now?
Veronica Jones says we would literally go down to one agent. and RNA says, but that's just mass opinion, which is suspect at best. And I would argue with RNA that is directly linked to my opinions of David Bowie's music, which is not relevant to this discussion on real estate. Thank you very much.
We're back to David Bowie and you, huh?
Yes, exactly. Just because I have strong opinions on music, apparently that colors my perception of what's what is accurate in the world. Apparently, thank you, Arne. All right, let's take another question here, then we'll close out. Okay, let's see. There was a good one here about auto dialers that I want to find for you, which is hang on.
I'm holding. I'm waiting. I'm just waiting here. Bated breath. I'm gonna hold my breath until you find it.
Okay, so Mike Morgan says, what's your typical cost monthly for an auto dialer, adding the cost of 3 phone lines, and what's your favorite script for these cold calls or robocalls? With Mojo, you don't add the cost of 3 phone lines, right?
Well,
is that how it works?
With Mojo, what happens is that single line dialer is $139 a month. And then you add on the if you want to buy the data for $25 a month. So I mean that's your total cost. I mean your single line dialer is going to be $89. So
okay,
you're looking at a total of $164 a month for Mojo for your triple line, which I mean that's $164 is the best used money on planet Earth if you sit your butt down in the seat every single day and you use it like I do. If you use it here and there, then no, it's 100% not worth the time. And then he also asked about a script. Is that correct?
Yeah, script for cold calling. If you dive into the dialer and you decide to make circle prospecting calls, what's the best script?
Oh God, dude, there's some. It's like asking. All right, it's like asking a kid their favorite version of ice cream. It's like,
well, it is putting the. I want to talk about like putting the cart before the horse, right? Because we see questions like this come up a lot where people are asking about the tool before they know what to do with the tool, right? So the first question should not be, details about the tool, like the auto dialer. What should I do? What should I do? Like if you don't know what your system is, why are you don't even know what tool you need until you know what you're going to do with it. It's like going into Home Depot and going, I'm looking for a circular saw, and the guy asks what you're going to do with it, and you go, a deck, maybe a home edition, but I know I need a circular saw. Everybody says I need a circular saw, so I'm looking for the best circular saw and a board.
Yeah,
well, I don't know what
board
with it. Yeah, what kind of board do I put with it? Yeah.
I don't know, redwood, oak.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, in regards to your best script, I mean, there's only a couple of different reasons why you're going to call. And Gail, by the way, Hank is harassing the comments. You better call him. He's going to lose his shit if you don't call him. So there is the just listed, just sold, just pending, open house. I have a buyer. I'm introducing myself. So you have 6 different potential scripts you can call into. I typically like, I use probably the home just sold, or the best is a home just went pending. Because the home just went pending shows that there's active interest in the neighborhoods right now, and it's something that's red hot versus something that's a little bit more cooled off. Open houses are the easiest one when you're inviting them to an open house, because there's 3 parts of a script. It's who you are, where you're from, and what the blank are you doing on the call, or are you doing on the front porch, okay, when you're door knocking. So it's Greg McDaniel with the McDaniel Callahan Real Estate Team. Hey, the reason why I'm calling today is blah. So that's the who I am, where I'm from. Third part is why I'm calling. So it really lends itself to this situation. So it could be, let's say, a home just sold. Hey, my name is Greg McDaniel with the McDaniel Callahan Real Estate Team. The reason I'm calling today actually is that a home just sold around the corner from you. I'm sure you know, over at 123 Main Street. It actually sold. It had 4 offers on it. Unfortunately, 3 people weren't able to get it, so they're crying in their soup right now. But you do have a new neighbor. And I just wanted to let you know what was going on and just see with the 3 other people that wanted to buy in your neighborhood, if you put any thought into maybe when you might be thinking about making a move. And then you go from there with the conversation. But, I mean, that's such a long answer to a short question. But, I mean, I think we pared it down pretty well there.
Episodes on that. Yeah, we've done episodes on circle prospecting that would be good for him to go back and review. So if you're listening to this and you have the same question, just search Real Estate Uncensored. You go to our YouTube channel, go to reuncensored.com, and just search for circle prospecting, because that's your basic script. And then you can also go to FavoriteScripts.com?
Greg'sFavoriteScripts.com. Is it?
No, it's my favorite scripts.com.
My favorite scripts.
Yeah, myfavoritescripts.com, and you can get Greg's favorite scripts there. So buyer and seller lead follow-up, circle prospecting, price reduction, friend in the business, objection handler, referral generation, and sphere of influence reconnect scripts. They're all there, and it's a free downloadable PDF.
And I just put that in the chat for you guys right now.
Cool.
If you guys want to hit that link, you got it.
Similar answer to this question here, because this is from Ian. Does anybody farm a neighborhood at a high level? I'm going to be mailing a mailer with market update listings and events to approximately 600 homes a month, looking for vendor recommendations and ideas. My recommendation is to reconsider that and just reach out to Corfact. And if you're curious about that, we did an episode with Chris Burnley, the CEO of Corfact, a couple of years ago. I would go listen to and watch that episode. And then maybe watch Dan Beer's episode where he talks about how he went from farming like 1,500 homes to now 32,000 homes in San Diego, and just scout out those approaches to it, because that's where I would start. Like, rather than sending a market update, I would send a Corfact postcard that actually links them to a home value site, and it's trackable, and you can see if they're engaged and active, and like there's a lot of features there that you don't get with just sending a mailer out.
So one of the things, I'm working with Nick Sakis, and once he and I kind of vet out what he and I are doing on the back end, dude, the new stuff, the new app / website / kind of all kinds of other cool stuff that he's put together, it's going to be able to dominate, absolutely dominate your neighborhoods in your local areas, and you will crush it. You will be bringing so much value. Like right after this, I'm heading down to film a little piece with a local hamburger joint, and then stopping at a couple other restaurants. I talked to them about doing stuff with me, and it's all based on what Nick is doing, guys. It is super, super, super cool. I haven't been this excited about something this long, and I don't understand the entire power behind it, but Nick does, and he's like a 2-year-old on Christmas. He's just bouncing around like a kid on sugar. It is amazing to see what this thing can do. So, yeah, I think it's a new way, Matt. I think it's a new way coming. I think it's all content driven. I think it's all value add driven, and I think that it's all. I think it's gonna help step away from this hardcore marketing prospecting thing that we've all had to do for a long period of time, and it's gonna change the way that we view not only the people that we are around, and our past clients and everything else. It's gonna change the way we view ourselves and the value that we bring to the neighborhoods through this different way of prospecting. It's really exciting. I'm really excited about it. If you can't tell.
Good, man. That's awesome. All right. Well, let's start wrapping this thing up. So first of all, thank you for hanging in with a very weird episode. Both Greg and I are loopy, and Gene had to cut out early. So, but we roll with the punches as we always do, guys. Thanks for watching with us live, guys. Arne and Veronica Jones and Paul Franklin. That we always have so much fun watching the Facebook comments and chuckling along with you guys and watching you guys talk to each other and yell at us and all kinds of fun stuff. We appreciate it. The easiest way, if you guys are listening to this after the fact and you don't know that we're live or how to find us live, go to reulive.com. That's a shortcut link that takes you straight to Greg's personal profile, which is where we broadcast the show from. We also broadcast into Lead Gen Scripts and Objections group, which is where some of our questions come from. So if you're not a member already, go to that Facebook group and sign up there. And then for the show itself, we'd appreciate a rating or review on iTunes. Make sure that you call out the guest and thank them for coming on the show. Tell them what you learned so that they get a sense that you're watching, and leave a rating on. And the best place to leave a rating and a review is on iTunes itself, but you can also leave it on whatever other platform you're using. And then, Greg, how do people reach out and connect with you about the team?
They call 402-339-1122.
Do not call my number.
Veronica asked for that earlier, and I actually posted it in the link for everyone to call. I feel bad for whoever's number that is. You're like,
you gave them a fake number, but it's probably a real one. For a real person who's now super annoyed.
Oh, very much so. Arne asked me, guys, what was the name of the site that gives you the cost versus the value of any upgrades? It is literally called Cost versus Value. I put the link in here so you guys can pick your region, pick your city if it's a major city, look at the different upgrades, cost versus the value on the back end for your sellers and or buyers when they're looking to buy or sell. So, guys, to reach out to me and my naked neighbor, awesome, put a shirt on, homie. Good Lord, these people have no decency. But it is, go to bookmcdaniel.com. If you guys are watching me right now, it is right down there. It's bookmcdaniel.com. And guys, book some time with me. And I just saw Matt's name, not Greg McDaniel.
Yeah, that's what you were talking about earlier. Well, I figured, hey, if you're going to claim that you're Matt Johnson and not change the title, then I'm going to clarify that I'm not Greg McDaniel in my lower third. So, all right, guys.
Oh my God.
So we are back on Monday. Obviously, next week is the holiday, so we won't be broadcasting on Wednesday. Spend some time with your family. We're going to do the same. And by family, I mean the comfort of my own bed here in San Diego. And Greg is going to be doing the same. So we won't see you next Wednesday, but we're back on Monday. We've got a couple of killer guests next week and more fun guests to come. So
yeah.
With that being said,
Matt, color, pick a color. Actually, you know what? I'm going to be in Tahoe up with my lender.
Are you really?
I'm going to be in Tahoe for the 4th. It's going to be a lot of fun with Casey and Sue's. We're going to be down at the lake. They have all these events planned we're going to. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice.
But yeah. Yeah, I think so. It's going to be some good times. So we're doing a black bow tie? A black bow tie?
Black bow tie.
All right, guys. We are putting a black bow tie, like the piece of coal that replace of Matt's heart. We are going to be doing that for today's show color.
The piece of coal that replaced Matt's heart. Oh, man. All right, guys.
All the stuff that you guys, Matt and I make this shit up on the fly. People always ask me,
and I'm sure it shows.
Why are you so mean to Matt? I'm like, I'm not mean to Matt. But we absolutely love you guys. We enjoy doing the show. We laugh our asses off, even when we're Looney Tunes like we are today. Hopefully this is a little bit of value. Go use the Google Trends that Gene, the Evil Bald Ninja, the Volpinator, brought to you guys. Super fun to kind of play with. Know that Matt and I have a deep love and affinity for all of you because we want to see you guys be the best that you can possibly ever be. And if we can help in any way, shape, or form, just that little tiny much, it means the world to us. So, as always, guys, we love you. And peace out, ninjas! We go.